All right, welcome in to Friday's edition of Daily Bread. Coming at you live a little bit earlier than usual on our Friday episode, so I don't know if we'll be able to get off the rails completely in as much as we usually do, but you already know why you're tapping in on Fridays. It's the number one spot to secure that weekend bankroll because tomorrow and Sunday, the college hoop slates get smaller and smaller each day, but it's conference tournament, conference finals, semifinals. So it's the best time to be betting, even though it's a smaller slate. Plus, you have the domestic leagues for soccer, you have NHL, NFL, tennis. It's the best, one of the better weekends out there for gambling. And to make it even that much better, check out the handle at the bottom. Hit them up for the weekend rate to check them out, and then you can lock in for a longer term. As usual, we're live on YouTube. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe there. We got our favorite people tapping in with us, even though it's early, 11 a.m. on the East Coast. That doesn't matter. All you West Coast people that's on their way to work, throw it on speaker, listen to us, tap in for the winners. I don't think any of my college hoops games are early today, so don't you worry if you're even in tapping in a little bit later. But we got to give you all the thoughts of all the action going on today. As usual, NBA, college hoops on Twitter. We got it up. We'll monitor the comments. Shout you out. Sosa, what you see from last night?
It's more what I wish I could unsee. Like that, I think that's that's the viable question here. Like, what I wish we could unsee is James Harden go 3 for 17 from the floor, so that everybody and their mother can just hop on the fucking the internet and because this is what they were doing. They were waiting in their shanties, just waiting for us to lose a game with him in the lineup. So once he loses, the narratives are just active. It's like, how much stupid shit can I post on the timeline now that James Harden has finally lost a fucking game in a Sixers uniform? So that's basically what I saw after the game. And it is what it is. Here we are. We lost. It's like the little Uzi Vert in the Tom Ford. I lost. One game. Let's talk about it till June, apparently. But that's all I saw last night. How about yourself?
I don't know why I'd be pissed about UVA. Didn't bet on that game. I guess it's because I wanted to bet UNC live and they never gave me an opportunity to. I mean, what we saw was Vandy beating. There's so many crazy upsets and shit that happened yesterday, but Vandy catching Alabama. Alabama, how volatile they've been. Their seeding's going completely down now in March. I don't think they fall out with that loss because Vandy has been extremely on the upswing and on the upside this year. So shout out to them. They got a chance to take down Kentucky today. We'll definitely be breaking down that game in our later slate.
Yes, sir.
We don't have to worry about the light bulb going out today. Sun's out.
I'm about to say, glad you got that fixed. Yeah, just do an earlier show.
The natural light is coming in today.
Just do an earlier show. That usually solves it. So Baylor, holy moly. What's the deal with them, bro?
Porter Moser. Really all it is, because Oklahoma doesn't have the talent. I mean, not saying it's a crazy outright win, but everyone, I just think it was chalked up Baylor going to the finals, and they ended up taking that L. So I don't really think anyone out of the Wild, like everyone who's remaining in the Big 12 is already locked for the tournament. So I don't think it's really that crazy. I mean, I guess Oklahoma might have some more work to do, but I think that win might have just gotten them in now because Florida just played their way out.
Yeah, well, they basically we expected that though. Florida's been everyone was on Florida money line yesterday. The game's in Florida.
State, Ohio State, another wild one.
I heard so many people. The game's in Tampa. They're gonna smoke them. It's Tampa. It's not Gainesville. But I digress. Let's get on to the show, man. Straight to the money. We got some games starting here in about 20 minutes. It's going to be a nice, long, beautiful day of college hoops all across the landscape. What do you want to start with?
Yeah, unfortunately, when I went through and capped through the slate today, my earliest game doesn't start till 6. That's what I was like, shit. We came on early. We can break down
Right.
the few early games real
Well,
quick.
that gives us plenty of time, right, for people to win their money back after they take the wrong picks from the early games from others, right?
Nah, maybe we can find a little action for the people out there because you always know we need our afternoon bangers on Friday.
Absolutely.
Indiana, Illinois. The reason why I'm staying off this game because last night it opened at 3.5 to Illinois, so it's basically moved 2.5 points at this rate. Yet the total at 137. No, I don't think Indiana has that magic and has that comeback outright because they're not going to be able to replicate a 28-4 run to break down that big deficit again. I do think Illinois will be able to pull away in this one here. I just don't want to lay a 6, and I do see this potentially going under because I could see Indiana struggling to break 55 today. So
Hey,
if you had to
man,
make me force a play in
after
this, for team total sitting at 65.5, if you had to make me take one, I would take Indiana's team total under 65.5 full game or first half under 31. I could see both of those coming through.
yeah, what a melt job by Michigan yesterday, huh? What a melt. They just melted at the end. Unbelievably bad. That was terrible, terrible, terrible. I there's it's a stay away from me with this early one. I think Illinois actually should be able to run through them, but again, the line being strange and then um the game being played at in Indianapolis is part of the reason why I want no smoke with it. When you saw Indiana kind of make a run yesterday, the crowd was with them, and they always kind of side with the underdog at the end of the day. I don't like referees and the way the energy in the building could go, so it's a stay away from me. Illinois definitely the more talented team, but again, Indiana has the players and the talent to overcome this particular matchup in the event it's a close game.
Yeah, another one of the early ones that I'm definitely staying away from, and then we can get into some of the bets. We'll stay with the Big Ten mantra here. Rutgers, 7-point dogs, beat Iowa 48-46 and held Iowa to around 25 shooting percentage here. You have a total though now 48-46 to even break 100 at 144.5, and that's just because if you watched Iowa's first half yesterday, they were averaging like 1.82 points per possession. It was unreal how like lethal on fire they caught. Now that Rutgers ain't in the rack, do we see something happening again? And that's where, when you're looking at these numbers, if you think Iowa State's hot in the first half, their team total is unfortunately staying at 35.5. That's what was keeping me off because Rutgers defense, even though it is on the neutral, I don't think it's a slouch. For them to get over 35.5, I think you'd have to shoot over 50% or just nail a decent amount of threes. And that's where I do think Rutgers can still hold them to 40 to 45%, which ends them up around 31 to 32 points in the first half. So that's where I'm trying to find a way to back Iowa here, but I just can't justify it at the -7 or their first half. No thoughts?
I'm on the other side actually. I like Rutgers with the points personally. Uh, Obviously Iowa came out and just shot the lights out. I don't think they replicate that today. I think Rutgers keeps it close and makes this game messy, just like the first time they played. Um, Give me Rutgers with the points.
All
That's what
right,
I'm going
let's
with.
switch over to the SEC. LSU, Arkansas. Arkansas has beaten LSU both times this season, even though both of them were sweaty as hell. Officiating probably got in the way in the last one there, but you have a 3.5 point spread with Wu Pig Sui, which if I had to lean away, I like them to win outright, but that 3.5, I'm not laying a hook there. You have a total at 140.5, and that got helped in the last game where it's gone over just to the fouling at the end. If you made me lean aside here, I kind of think this one goes under, surprisingly, because it's starting to steam up more and more, and it's the fouls. So that's where first half I could definitely see this going under because LSU's defense is back.
Will Wade, he gonna get it done today. I'm on LSU money line. I seen everybody talking Arkansas. And tell me the stat about beating a team 3 times again.
That it usually doesn't go LSU's favor here.
Ah,
They only
yeah,
win 30% of the time.
Okay, so like 70% of the time, the team that's
Arkansas
beaten
wins this game.
the team that's beaten the team twice wins a third time.
Yep.
That's not gonna happen today. LSU's gonna win this game. LSU money line, I think I have it at plus 135. Um,
Yeah, my book has it plus 143, anything like that. I mean, it's hard to argue against it because I have Arkansas winning the SEC in our preview from paid for play, but I'm not laying a 3.5 here thinking minus 163 is good price. Pinson has been the difference for this LSU team. It's as simple as that. And then Eason was the difference maker in that last game against Arkansas because Pinson was stupid and picked up a third and fourth foul early in the second half. So their power forward, Eason, started to take over. When Pinson's running for that full game, they're looking nice. I can't argue against a plus 143 here. I'd have to take the dog in the scenario. I don't know. Something's just telling me maybe Arkansas wins, but
neutral
I'm
site.
rocking Go Tigers today. I have to.
Give me. Like, listen, Will Wade's got to do. Like, I love Will Wade to usually lose. I usually like him to lose because I'm not a huge Will Wade guy. But I think today LSU gets a job done. I really do believe that. That's just my personal bet of the day. I love them on the money line. Yeah, 2:30 start. Yeah, give me LSU to win the game.
Our man G5 Juan rocking with us as well. Let's stay in the SEC. Our Texas Tech first half came through last night. So we're rocking with another first half. I got this at -4, -110. If you have the 4.5, still play it as well. And we're rocking with the Volunteers. Even though it's in Tampa, Tennessee's still going to come out and walk Mississippi State from start to finish in this one here. And the reason why I like this one is because Miss State, they're going to be feeling themselves after just drubbing South Carolina last night, and it's going to get ugly from the start and often with Tennessee's defense. Miss State is a bottom 15 team in three-point offense. They only shoot 27% of their shots here, so they completely rely on the two. They shoot 35% of their shots from outside of the further two, so like elbow jumpers and just your non-high percentage ones. And Tennessee has a top 52-point defense here. You know, I like to rock with the team that's better defensively on both sides of the ball. So this is where tennis are both from the 2 and the 3. So Tennessee first half -4, -110. And then if they don't cover it, just like we would have done with Texas Tech last night, we'll take Tennessee at half to win the game or to cover whatever the spread is at.
I just want to let y'all know that the only human being that can talk me into betting on Rick fucking Barnes
Hey, it's first half.
is that
First
is
half,
that
man.
guy.
It's not full game. It's
That
first half.
guy. That fucking guy is the only person on this planet that can get me to bet on Rick Barnes.
Well, you can think of it this way. You're fading Ben Howland. And Mississippi State has been terrible on the road this year. Sure, it's neutral now, but I just think that South Carolina team. So you were talking about it. That was like kind of just a dead man walking team right there.
Yep.
Even though how much Frank Martin can do, that team was kind of just going to be donezo. I didn't expect them to get drubbed by 22 points, but it is what it is. Let's wrap up the one other SEC game since that one tips in 45 minutes. I don't have a play in it. I don't think Sosa does either, but just to give you your thoughts, and then we'll give you our full plays after that. Texas A&M, Auburn, 9.5 or 10-point spread, depending where your book's at. Over under of 141. I can't back Bruce Pearl to put a full game together in the SEC tournament. That's really where it's at. But Texas A&M's riding the high off the buzzer beater win. That's where it's just tough for me here.
I like Auburn. This is nothing official, but if I like Auburn to cover, I think this is where Bruce got to have his troops ready to go. I think he will have them ready to go. I think they probably run him out the gym. I think the next game is when you're going to have issues, but coming off that emotional high, I think Auburn's going to be in the gym. They're going to hit their shots. Jabari Smith playing like a superstar. They should be able to own the boards as well. They should be able to own the paint defensively. Unless A&M comes out and just hit and hit. I mean, bro, what they was doing yesterday was some disrespectful shit. You see the back off the backboard?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bro. They were just out here disrespecting.
Not necessarily just
like
because
Auburn
Texas A&M's offense can go away.
Absolutely. They played a complete game yesterday, and they almost coughed it up at the end. You know, they still almost coughed it up at the end, but if I had to bet, I would take Auburn to cover 9. I think they're the most talented team. I think that they want the smoke, and I think they come out here and they dominate. And if not, it'll be a look ahead spot. They'll get in a dogfight for 40 minutes. It's going to be one or the other. I
Yes,
would veer
sir.
towards Auburn covering.
Thank you to all who are tapping in with us. We got over 75 people rocking with us, close to 100 between our two outlets. Make sure to give us a like, retweet, because now I got 3 more plays and I'll get right through them. I know Sosa has some more as well. We're going to the Big 12, TCU, Kansas, over 138.5. You know I love my Kansas totals. We haven't rocked one in a while. This TCU team is for real. I see a lot of people hanging on to that +8. And if that's really the way it's going to go, that means we're going to get this over, especially in the fouling time. The 2 times these teams have met up, it's ended at 138 and 140. So that's why you see this number right spot on. It's dropped a point and a half. It's up to 139 in some books. Take the over here. I think this one comes through. Kansas is going to be able to dictate the pace here on the neutral court. TCU, they can't hit the threes, but they'll be able to expose them in the inside a little bit. But I do think Kansas potentially runs this game away. We won't see like the prior two. I'm not laying a big spread here, but this is going over 138.5.
Let's go.
Second play, Sosa. I don't know if you're going to be rocking with the Cats tonight, but UConn's going to lose. I got it at -2, -110 with Villanova.
Okay. All right.
Seton Hall, just this UConn team, I don't want to say is fraudulent. They can get hot, but I think they're another one of those teams that are too volatile for me on a night-on-night basis. People can say Nova got helped out by the refs last night. The biggest thing in that game was they were hoping to keep Samuels out for the entire game. They're also planning to have to maybe run him for a little bit at halftime if it was. Johnny's on their home court in MSG, or half the games they play at MSG. It was kind of good known that they were going to come out from the first half from the jump. You saw Nova have to go to their backup guards pretty quickly, and Gillespie had to carry the weight throughout most of it. You had Daniels hit a few timely threes to get them back into it here. I just think even though Nova, they're not as healthy as they clearly need to be or want to be at this point of the season, I think they're on a collision course to meet Providence in the finals again, most likely. So that's where I'm going to take Nova -2, -110 here.
Let's go. And obviously, you already know it's Jay Wright, March, barring UConn just going nuclear from 3, which I don't expect happening. I think Nova comes away with a 6 to 7 point win here.
Yeah, and then if you remember the last game, we rocked with the UConn money line, and that's when Hurley got ejected from the game. And I just think Nova, in the 2 times that they played UConn this year, they went 10 for 24 from deep and 8 and 20 from deep. I think they'll be able to break double digits here, and I think they're not going to run away with this game. UConn will fight to the end, but I think Nova does get hot from deep tonight consistently.
Yep, they like shooting. They like shooting at MSG.
That's where Jay Wright wants to coach.
I'm 100% with you, and again, it's Jay Wright, dog. Like you can't. I mean, it's the time of the year where you start betting on guys like, I don't know, Jay Wright, Tom Izzo. You know, these guys seem to figure it out this time of year. I'm just saying, and they've been doing it for decades plus. So it's no surprise that we're betting on Villanova today.
I think this is the 3rd time in Daily Bread history that we've backed Nova. I don't think it's failed us yet. All right, last game of the day.
They have not. We've got
you're the underman. I'll talk about me having to suck it up, nut it up, and actually put my hard-earned money on the team that I hate. All right, final game. I'm rocking the Boise State shirt. You already know Boise. It's our last time to fade Wyoming today. -2.5, -110.
Big Bronco energy tonight. Let's go.
When Wyoming's not in the dome, this is where it all changes. And this is where Boise State, they by far have the length advantage here to be able to shut down Molinaro and Ike. And I think more than anything else, Wyoming's going to have the problems slowing down Boise. We saw, even though that they lost when they went to Wyoming, just get Wyoming out of that home court. They're not fraudulent. UNLV probably should have won that game yesterday, even though they did get some help. Wyoming gutted out a tough one here. I like Boise having the rest, coming out -2.5, -110. They're going to be able to slow down the game completely and rely on that solid defense that they have.
And shout out to our homie Jose in Vegas. Obviously, the men's team didn't win, but the women's team, the UNLV women, are headed to the NCAA tournament. They won the conference championship. So, who knows? Maybe UNLV is definitely not getting in the tournament for the men, are they? No, they're definitely out, right? Yeah, no, they're done. But
Yeah,
shout
Dunzo.
out to the women's team.
Wyoming is like it was between kind of them and Wyoming who was going to maybe get that last spot. Utah State had a chance, but now that Wyoming's made it the furthest and they already had the best record out of them, it's looking like it's going to be Boise, Colorado State, San Diego State. And if Wyoming gets this one, I think they're 100% in. So the team that needs it more, get out of here. Kind of like what happened with Butler and Xavier when we didn't have the balls to back the Bulldogs.
Yes, sir.
Any other game that you have action on? I know we didn't get to Michigan State, Wisconsin, Virginia Tech, UNC.
I mean, obviously,
Miami,
I'm on
should
UNC
lose.
because I think they're going to win. I want them to win, obviously, and I think they're going to handle business.
UCF, Memphis, UCLA, USC. A lot of good games. We obviously don't have all the time in the world. We've already gone 15 minutes. Plus, on College Hoops, we got to get to the solid NBA slate as well.
Yeah, and I only got 3 plays right now. A lot of lines not available as far as props.
So drop any College Hoops questions in the chat. I'll star and we'll get back to them after NBA if you have any game that we didn't hit on. But Sosa, like, subscribe. I don't think you're subscribed to our show, but let's get into the NBA plays.
First play is going to come in the Minnesota at Magic game. And what we're going to do is we're going to run it right back. Minnesota first half team total over 62.5. It's at this point, it's just a pace thing, man. They run to shoot threes. They're putting up more shots than just about any team in the NBA. They're shooting the second most threes in the entire league. At 62.5, first half, minus 110. We got, playing a Magic team that we know isn't necessarily trying to win. Minnesota trying to make sure that they're securing a top 6 seed in the playoffs. They're not there yet. They're in 7th, but they're looking like a team that might get a home game for a plan, which is necessary. Minnesota Timberwolves over 62.5, minus 110 first half. That's the team total, and that's the first play of the night. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's where I'm at with that one.
Yeah, I'm not backing the Magicians in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely not. The second play I love is a player prop is in the Clippers at Atlanta game. Trae Young to go over 26.5. I love the matchup. I like him at home. I like them playing a Clipper team that is not anywhere near as good on the road as they are at Staples. I'm rocking with Trae Young over 26.5 points at minus 115. That's my favorite prop of the evening.
Yeah, and it was hard to try to find a way. I was going to ask you, this was one of my questions. What guard can I potentially back on the Clippers confidently?
None.
Yeah, that's where I'm just saying. My usual play, I just looked into it. I was just like, man, the numbers are just all way too high for my liking.
Yeah, I can't.
It really didn't matter. Seth came and fucking dunked on us last night, but Roddy stayed in the squad.
I just like them at the crib, man. Everybody on a night, everyone had a night off. No one's on any back-to-backs. Everyone's rested. Barring a brick fest, you're going to get a lot of scoring tonight. And there's going to be a couple of games where they just can't hit a shot. Actually, I have 5 plays total. My next play is in the Knicks versus Grizzlies game. And what we're going to do is we're going to go with the Grizzlies first half spread. I know that the Knicks have performed well here as of late. But I think this is another smash spot for the Grizzlies. The line's at 9.5. I just really like the matchup. And they dispose of bad teams. They don't just beat them. They beat the fuck out of them.
And the Knicks are feeling themselves too. I think they get smacked down.
Coming off a game against Dallas where they won by double digits. Secondly, this is the NBA. Sometimes there are just teams that match up better with certain teams. The Knicks clearly match up with they clearly match up very well with Dallas. It's clear as day. They just match up well. So we're going to go Memphis Grizzlies minus 5.5 first half and minus 110. And I'm putting a half unit on them full game. minus 9.5. Like I said, I just love Memphis in this spot. They had their get right game where Bain cleared his head. They won the other night. We were on the right side, obviously. I think they're right back. They're right back to that same model that has gotten them wins at the beginning of the season.
One, if you had to make me play a dog of the day, I think it could be the Spurs, even though they're tanking right now. Kept it close against Toronto in the last game, and this is a bad just travel spot for Utah, where they finally ended their 5-game road trip, played at home against Portland, spanked them. Now they have to go down to San Antonio when tomorrow night they're hosting Sacramento back at home.
Yeah,
There's going to be people that rest, and Bojan's already ruled out for tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if a few other Jazz members ends up on the out list tonight.
my play would actually be the over 229. We got a San Antonio team that doesn't particularly play defense. I think they're really they're in a situation where they're also trying to get this one win for Pop to pass Nelson for the all-time lead in wins. So I personally I have to roll with the over in that one, over 229.5. I also don't think that Sacramento is any form of a look-ahead spot. They suck. Yes,
No, but you just get back at home. If they're going to rest people, it could be tonight because you don't rest them at the home crowd.
That's a possibility. But remember, they also had a day in between their last game. Like they played on national TV on Wednesday and then, going to San Antonio. These are the games where players like the stat pad. We know San Antonio is not going to play any defense, and we know that Donovan Mitchell's been having trouble getting right offensively over the last week and a half. I think this is a situation where he tries to come out tonight and give a San Antonio team hell where they already and also I think he's going to take on the challenge of playing against DeJounte Murray. DeJounte's playing like a superstar, bro.
27.5 for Mitchell's team total or points over.
Right. And it was just 24.5 a game ago. So that should tell you everything you need to know. The books expect him to go off and them defending him, he should go off. But like I said, it's just that's my expectation. I like the game to go over.
What else action you got on the board for tonight? We didn't talk about the Pels, home dogs, but the rest of our players are out. Miami.
The Pels are a super fade. McCollum just entered health and safety protocols. BI is going to be out for about a week. I can't see myself putting my money on the Pelicans here.
But it's Charlotte?
CJ McCollum's not playing, and neither is BI.
But Charlotte?
I'm not doing it.
But Charlotte?
I like Charlotte to win the game. If I had to pick, bro, you're talking about close to 70 points a game responsible for. You got the 2 leading assist guys, 2 leading scorers. It's a human impossibility for me to put my money on the Pels tonight. It's impossible. You gotta no CJ, no Ingram. Bro. It's just
no. I feel you. No,
yeah,
I just wanted to.
And we love that team. We're fans of the New Orleans Pelicans. Daily Bread we love the Pelicans, but
what about
it's a bad spot?
What about Miami? They love playing on Friday nights. 6-0 ATS.
They sure do. Last time they played us on Saturday, right?
Yeah,
playing on Saturday. I would have to veer towards them. Jarrett Allen being out is huge. But I do think that Darius Garland is in a situation to get off. I don't think, and also Darius Garland, I think is going to really cook tonight because there were people before the All-Star break saying that Tyler Hero was better than him. They're clearly blind, stupid, or just don't fucking know the game of basketball. But that's besides the point. We saw people saying that dumb shit. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of lines that aren't available, like I stated earlier. So it's just difficult for me to make a bunch of plays in regards to props and stuff like that. I think the plays that I've given out are the ones that I have the best research behind at this particular moment. Probably hop on Spaces later with Crispy Cap'n, maybe with Friday, or maybe we'll do something as far as that. But in regards to picking props and stuff, it's just so difficult early in the day, man. It was imperative that we get these college basketball plays out though. So that's all I got for the NBA today. But again, if we'll have some more coming up.
Yes, sir. I like that comment from the breakdown. Cuz might have to go for 50. Do it, Roddy. All right, we had 2 college hoops questions come in. Drop any more of the college hoops slates, and then we're gonna be wrapping it up. We'll take anything that you want to talk NBA as well for last minute questions. So I know we got thoughts on one of these games. USC, UCLA. Our man Joseph wants to know what we like here. You got the 6-point spread, 134.5 total. Team split when they met during the regular season.
I'm rocking with UCLA today if I had to in this one. I think UCLA is a team that remembers last year.
Cronin got his first win against Enfield finally.
So that would be where I would veer towards them. Probably a first half spot. I think they probably win the first half by like 7-8 points. Wouldn't take the second half though, because I think the refs keep it close.
The one thing that I was targeting and looking at was UCLA's team total, because if you had to make me go away here, I don't want to lay the 6. I think Cronin's got them right, but it's sitting right at 70. And as of right now, the action looks like it's coming in and it's sharp action on the under. Maybe we'll lock in UCLA later tonight with that team total since it's not till 11:30. But that's what I was thinking when I saw this one. I wanted to probably be on UCLA's team total. All right, I got one other question that we got. We're not going to talk about that. Did we touch VCU versus Richmond here? My thoughts on here is I hate the hook on the 3.5 with VCU. I think VCU comes in, gets a win, gets out. Richmond's going to have a terrible time. The game most likely goes under unless it gets over in fouling time. I just think VCU wins. I don't want to lay 3 and a hook.
Yeah. They said they want to talk about the Sixers.
I mean,
it
was all from yesterday's talk about whose big man played better. Jokic didn't play that well either.
I got a question, right? The Sixers started the night in second place, and they ended the night in second place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I believe that Brooklyn started the night in a playoff position or in a play-in position, right? And they ended the night in a play-in position, right? So you're telling me that nothing that happened last night mattered even fucking remotely for like the season? Nothing, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. We talked enough about the Sixers
they had lame duck in the first half. It is what it is. They've been starting games slow. You're not always going to come back from it, especially when Kyrie and Katie played their 7th game of the year together. Congrats,
bro! You know what, bro? The Nets are going to shoot 63% from the floor every fucking time they play us. So, I mean, you might as well just hand them the fucking trophy now.
So tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Paid for play. Conference tournament semifinals. Conference tournament finals. Daily Bread will be live on Sunday. So make sure to be tapping in with us. So maybe we'll figure out what we have to do. Maybe something for the non-college hoop slate tomorrow since it's smaller. We'll get back to you and tweet that out. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Retweet. Follow. You know the deal.
Kevin Durant still don't got no